Welcome to part 2 of Victoria Paints Minis.
In the last video, I learned how to assemble and prime my first mini. In this video, I'll go through step by step learning how to paint it.
Painting is a creative hobby, and like all creative hobbies, there's no right and wrong way to do everything. You should experiment and try to figure out what works best for you. However, if you're new to painting, there are a few simple steps you can follow in order to get a pretty good result on the first try.
The first thing you should do is put a base coat on your mini.
So once you've chosen the color of your base coat, you're going to want to thin your paint with a bit of water. Unfortunately, there is no exact science to thinning your paint, such as add this many drops of paint to that many drops of water, so it's just something you're going to have to get a feeling for as you go. For your base coat, you want to make sure to thin the paint enough that it flows from the brush and levels out on the surface without leaving any brush strokes behind. You want to brush the paint onto the mini with the features, continuing to add paint along the wet edge of the painted surface so that you don't disturb any paint that's already drying. Apply multiple thin coats of paint until you have a nice opaque layer. Once you've laid down the base coat on your mini, you're going to want to add some shading.
The simplest way to do this is with a type of paint called shade or wash.
Using a larger brush, apply your shade or your wash, brushing against the mini's features and allowing it to flow into all the recesses. This is going to give the effect of shadows on the parts of the mini that the light wouldn't hit. Choose the color of your wash depending on the look you're going for. You can go with a simple black wash or tailor your wash color to the base color you're adding it to.
I was really surprised with just how much detail was brought out by simply adding the wash. While the shade was drying, I decided to paint the boots, weapons, and belt buckle gray. I painted the belts and pouches to look like leather. I applied a black wash to the parts I painted gray, and a brown wash to the leather. I thought just having the armor pink was a little plain, so I decided to use an accent color. I chose olive green, and I used that around some areas of the armor that I thought needed a little bit of a pop. There were a few other details on this model that I had left to paint, so I did the wax seal on his back red. And the parchment an off-white color. I also painted the skull on his left arm with that same color. I painted the symbol on the chest of the model with silver, and then I got a little carried away and started doing silver detailing all over the rest of the model in different spots that I thought it would look good. Using a brown wash on the wax and parchment and a black wash on the silver bits really helped everything come together.
Now that you've created some depth and shadow on your mini with the shade, we're going to move on to highlighting. This step is going to produce the effect of light hitting the mini and really bringing the entire look together.
There are a number of different ways that you can highlight, but I tried two that are the most beginner friendly.
Make your highlight color by combining a brighter color and your base color, or by choosing a paint that is already brighter than your base color. You want to highlight the parts of the mini that would be hit by the light, so focus on the upward facing surfaces. Leaving the areas that face downward darker will help play up the overall contrast of your paint job. This technique is called edge highlighting, and it is achieved by brushing the side of your brush, not the tip, along the sharpest parts of the mini, allowing the paint to only catch the edge.
I really liked this technique. It was such an easy way to add highlights to the model. Once the other colors were dried, I was able to highlight the parchment with the original color to finish it off.
The other highlighting technique Victoria tried is called drybrushing. You want to use a flat brush or a round brush like a makeup brush for this. Dip your brush in the paint and then remove the majority of the moisture from the brush by painting X's on a paper towel until you no longer see paint coming off of the brush. Then move the brush back and forth against the parts you want to highlight. With your base coat, shading, and highlighting, your mini is pretty much done. You can use this opportunity to paint some small details like the eyes.
You can also use this time to go back and fix any mistakes you may have made during the process.
After painting the eyes and touching up some mistakes, I painted the base black.
I hope you enjoyed watching me learn how to paint my first mini. I had a blast and really enjoyed the whole process.
If you liked this video, let us know in the comments below. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe before you leave so you never miss a video. And as always, thanks for watching.
See you next time.